I just bought this gold label Page Puncher's Captain Cold, so you don't have to buy him. Well, unless you like the review, and then, of course, go out and buy him. This is the first Page Punchers figure that I have purchased. I don't know why. Captain Cold really speaks to me. I don't know about this version, never seen this before. Hopefully it'll explain it to me inside the comic that is in here, and we'll look at that in a few. But this is the gold label version, which means he's got a little shinier paint job. He's a little more metallic than the regular. I don't have the original release, so I can't compare the two, but we're going to take a look at this figure today. So start off by taking a look at the packaging. You see the front with the cool gold label. Back of the box, which features some artwork from Scott Collins. This original work for McFarlane for this particular toy line. I don't know. We'll have to see. Right side of the box. Left side. Top, bottom. With a look at the packaging out of the way, let's break this guy open and let's play. Now that we have this guy out of the box, let's start by taking a look at the accessories that he comes with. Surprisingly, he comes with a black DC logo base like every DC Multiverse figure, even though this is technically a Page Puncher and technically from DC Direct and not under the DC Multiverse banner. Still comes with one of these, so very cool. He also comes with this cool trading card featuring the artwork of Scott Collins. Looks different than the regular DC Multiverse releases, but I don't know, it looks like maybe like a variant sub-series if you collect cards. So kind of different, kind of cool. Comes with this awesome cold gun. Does it come apart? It feels like it might. I'm not sure how this thing works. It does like come open a little bit, like I'm pulling it open. Looks like it might if I pulled really hard, but it does come open that way, so at least you can get it over his hand when you're, lighting up somebody with some freeze ray. He comes with this original comic called The Flash #1 from writer Tim Seeley and artist Scott Collins. It's a decent little story. It basically features all the characters from this Page Punchers line, which includes Captain Cold, The Flash, Atom, Heatwave, and Gorilla Grodd as the mega figure. And these are all unique takes. I'm assuming this is McFarlane's kind of take, or this is, some made up version of these characters. They are not this is not normal DC Comics fare. This is something made up new. I kind of dig it. The like Heatwave and Captain Cold, they play little bit parts in this. It's mainly the Atom, the Flash, and Kid Flash, which is not on the cover of this book, taking it to Iron Heights and trying to take out Gorilla Grodd because he's come up with this scheme to take out the Flash and take over humanity and Gorilla City, blah, blah, blah. Some of the same story beats that you've seen in the past, but still awesome artwork because I love Scott Collins' art, so that is a plus. I believe the same comic comes with all of the figures. So, maybe this is something to build on. I would like to see McFarlane do more of this, adding comics with the action figures. But, it'd be nice to make them unique comics. And they don't even have to be, 20-something pages, maybe 10 pages. But something unique for each figure. Maybe it tells a story, and that's the way they build out the Page Punchers, like you have to buy the next one to read the next part of the story. So finally we have this guy, this Captain Cold. I kind of like it. I don't like Captain Cold with this thing on his face. I would like to see Ralph Snart's face, but that's not going to happen with this. But still, this is a pretty decent action figure. He does feature some of the same, like the older ankle and wrist joints, those ball joints that I hate from the original DC Multiverse figures. I know McFarlane has been changing it up lately. This guy it looks like he has a little bit more, well, the paint job's sort of basic. Again, the gray on the original release of this figure is more muted. This is a little more shiny. So same with the blues here on the boots and the gloves and even this part of the hood. It's a little more shiny. I'm assuming the cape is pretty much the same on the other figure. All in all, it's the exact same figure as the original release, just shinier paint job on this guy. Don't have the original release, so I can't really compare him and contrast them for you, but I can say I like this figure. When these were first solicited, these Page Punchers, I was like, oh my God, they all look so like ice cream plasticky, colory kind of look to them. And I didn't know, where these figures were coming from. So I I turn my nose up at them, but after pulling this out of the box and playing with him for a little bit, I think I might go after the others because I think they look, even though they don't look like traditional looks of the figures, they still are pretty cool action figures. So taking a look at the head, this guy, you know, his head can rotate all the way around. Now the cape is, you know, it has this piece here, so you don't get too much movement. Like he won't move his head up too much, but his head will look down. That way, arms go up about that high. He does have that faux butterfly swivel piece here. He's got bicep movement that turns all the way around if you want it to. Double jointed elbows, ball joint wrist. They can do some decent movement. Got a little movement here at the top of the torso. He can turn at the waist. Man, these are really tight. You do nice splitsies there. Nice splitsies that way. He's got really nice movement at the legs. He's got double jointed knees. And of course, he has this ball joint ankle, and he has toe bends. But that's about as far as it's going to bend, because if you see right here, there's a piece of plastic that will just hit the top of the boot and it won't go any further. So I don't know why they did that. It really keeps the toes from bending back far at all. So let's put on his little weapon here. I guess it just slides over his fist. So it looks like maybe he is supposed to grab that in the middle. Maybe that's why it kind of spreads and allows you to grab it. We're going to have to do some work to his hands to open those guys up. This is going to be a hard one to get in there and grab. Why do they make this so difficult? Now I see why they allowed this thing to kind of move. I'm not going to get it in there, so we're just going to push it down and hope it act like it's staying. It's decent. I'm not a huge fan of that look of that gun, but it'll work. I dig this figure a lot more than I thought I would. Actually, I'm pretty stoked to have this one in the collection. Let me know your thoughts. Do you have this figure? Did you buy the regular version? Does the look of this one make you want to go out and buy this figure as opposed to the regular version? Or are you going to buy both together? Leave your thoughts, leave your comments below. Love to hear what everybody else thinks about this Captain Cold. All right, folks, that is it for this episode. As always, please hit that subscribe button, share this content. That would be great. Until next time, God bless.